name is Chef Levine, and I want to welcome all of our Camp Delicious family and all the supporters of Luminari. From my kitchen to your kitchen, I want to eat macaroni and cheese. And I want to make it a gourmet macaroni and cheese, and that's how we can elevate the dish. So that's what we're going to do. Today, the macaroni that we're using is called orecchietta, and I kind of want you to see this. It's Italian for little ear, and I'll show this camera as well. But it almost looks like pistachio nuts, and why it's really good is it has these ridges on the outside, and it's also kind of hollowed, so the cheese kind of sticks to the pasta. It's really an incredible dish. So that's the pasta that we're using today. I have a little over 8 ounces of pasta in this pot. It takes about 12 minutes for this particular pasta to cook, so it'll be cooking while we're demoing everything else. We're going to make the topping for the macaroni and cheese, and the topping is just basically breadcrumbs or panko crumbs, which is what I had in the house. So that's what we're using. I took 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and we're going to take the panko crumbs. And the reason I have unsalted butter in the house as opposed to salted, there's always kind of which one should you buy? The unsalted obviously has no salt in it, and the salted has salt. So the salted butter can last about 5 months in the refrigerator, and the unsalted about 3 months. But why the unsalted is popular with a lot of people that cook is because people like to add salt to their dishes, and especially if you're doing baking, it has a huge effect because you have salt in the butter, so you're altering the recipe requirements. So I just go unsalted for everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these breadcrumbs, these panko crumbs, put them in a bowl. It's about a 1/4 cup of the panko crumbs. Set this back here. And 1 tablespoon of butter. We're going to save the rest to mix in with our pasta. And I'm just going to take these and I'm going to mix this together, just kind of give it a little coating, give it a little moisture. Now, I have this big pot. This big pot is where we're going to assemble everything for this pasta, which the pasta should be ready in about 9 minutes. So, but I preheated the oven to 375 degrees. Give this a little stir so it doesn't stick. I did lightly salt the water as well. So I wanted to add this butter to this pot. We're going to heat that up. And we're going to add a 1/4 cup of flour to this. Just slowly add it, kind of mix it in. It comes out, it almost looks like a thick paste. So you're taking the flour and you're taking just the butter, 3 tablespoons of the butter, mixing it together, and it kind of comes out to a paste. And to this we want to add 3 cups of milk. You can use any type of milk you want. I wouldn't recommend heavy cream because it's just too thick. I happen to have in my refrigerator skim milk. And I want to add this slowly to the pot because you don't want to scorch the milk. So we'll add about 1/2 cup of it, lightly stir it. And there's 3 cheeses that we're going to be added to this mixture. We're going to be added Gruyere, which is like a Swiss cheese, which has a really wonderful flavor. It's a little bit more hearty than just Swiss. We have Monterey Jack. We also have a sharp cheddar. Now, traditionally, I would use a white. I like all white cheeses. I was at the store, and my whole selection wasn't there, so they had sharp cheddar, so we grated the sharp cheddar for this particular recipe. The flavor's still going to be there. I would love to hear different ideas that you have, what your ideas of comfort food is, and I think part of it is the fact that we all like the same things, and we're not that different. It's all comfort food. It makes us feel secure. It's food that we had growing up as kids. You're going to make traditions of this. So I'm just going to pour the rest of the milk in, kind of heat that up. I'm going to save a little bit of the cheese, so I'm going to add in, I want to add some seasoning on here. So I'm going to add in some fresh ground pepper, about a 1/4 teaspoon, and some fresh ground salt, the same amount, about a 1/4 teaspoon. And I also want to put a little cayenne pepper in. We found this one cayenne pepper that has like a smoky flavor, which I love. So put about a 1/4 teaspoon of that in as well. Has a wonderful flavor, kind of gives it a little oomph, a little kick. So I'll stir that up as well. Incorporate all the flavors together. And then we're going to take the cheese, and it's about a 1/4 cup of Monterey Jack cheese, all shredded. Just throw that whole thing in. The Gruyere, I want to pour most of it in, but I want to keep a little bit to put on the top with the breadcrumbs to kind of give it a little cheese coating. And the same with the sharp cheddar cheese, leave some of that on the top as well. The pasta's done, so I want to take the pasta, shut off the oven. I'll drain this pasta. Get the little excess water off because we have a lot of liquid still with the milk. And I'll put this right here for you to see. But it's beautiful. Again, it means little ears and it has that distinct look. This is starting to thicken up a little bit, which is nice. So I'm going to get the pan ready to bake. Just taking a baking dish here, and I'm going to spray it just to make the cleanup a little bit easier. I'm not like the TV celebrities where I have a staff in the back doing all my pots and pans for me. I have to do them myself, so I want to make sure it's as easy as possible. So spray that. And we take this pasta and we incorporate it into the mixture that we made here. And just mix all that together. And I'll pour this into the dish. I'm going to get every last morsel out of that. Shut off this burner. And then I'm going to top it with the breadcrumbs. Just scatter it around. I like to do it a little bit of layered because I like to get, because some of these seep in so you kind of get that crunch when you're eating it. Put some more of the Gruyere on top. And this again is a 375 degree oven. And you want to cook it for about 20-25 minutes. Not all the ovens are the same, so I usually do, you got to check in on it to make sure it's doing okay. And I'll pop this in the oven again for 20-25 minutes at 375 degrees. And we'll come back and we'll eat some macaroni and cheese. Welcome back. It's been 25 minutes and the macaroni, the place smells incredible. I wish we had smell-o-vision. Sorry, it's an old cliche, but it does smell incredible in here. So it's hot, so let me shut the oven off. It's gonna steam up my glasses. Look at that. Look at it just bubbling away. So let me scoop out a little so you can kind of see what it looks like. See what I mean with the crust, with the bread panko crumbs? It just kind of gives that nice bite to it. Now I'm not going to be brave and taste it for you and do that wonderful eye roll and say it's amazing. I know it's amazing. Well, maybe I'll try. But again, can you see that crust? I'll show both cameras. You ready for the eye roll? Oh, this is so good. I cannot wait to have dinner tonight. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen. I'm Chef Roger, and I hope to see you soon. 4 ounces of unsalted butter, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And we're going to take the panko crumbs. And the reason I have unsalted butter in the